everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. Today is Wednesday, January the 15th, 2025. I wanted to share this story with you guys, but before I continue, I want to say thank you so much everybody who has been listening using Spotify. Please don't forget to join me there on the subscription, and also thank you so much everybody. It really means a lot, everybody who has been watching on YouTube and subscribing. I wanted to share this story, you guys, because it's very sad. Once again, one of those stories that you know that your life can change at any moment. I think I spoken to you guys about how in the past, people who own dogs and things like that, they usually say to you, if you're afraid of something, they usually say to you, oh, they don't do anything, right? We have to, it's so crazy, I wasn't even gonna say this, but we are living in the last days, right? And we have to, if you're a pet owner, right, nothing wrong with owning a pet, nothing wrong with that. And I understand not every dog is vicious, right? So I understand why some people might say, if you've seen the dog for the first time, the owner might say to you, this dog is friendly, things like that. But at the end of the day, guys, we really don't know how an animal can react to whatever threat they perceive, right? And just because they're friendly to you, because they see you all the time, that doesn't mean that they're gonna be friendly to a stranger, right? So that's why you have to have compassion and understanding. If somebody says to you, I don't feel comfortable with your dog, there's no debating or trying to convince somebody. That's it, right? You don't need to, a person who says to you, I don't feel comfortable doing this or the other, there is no back and forth, right? It's basically the end of the conversation. And you have to understand, this is the warning that I was giving, that I was going to tell you. You have to understand, as we're living in the last days, the enemy is going to use whatever he can, right? To, just to come, kill, steal, and destroy. That's what he does. The enemy wants nothing good for you. That's why the best thing in life is to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And the reason that I say all of that is that I learned about this 8-year-old boy from Florida who lost his life this Monday, on the 13th. So I just said today is the 15th. This past Monday, right, beginning of the year, probably just started going back to school after Christmas break. An 8-year-old Florida boy was brutally mauled and killed after he stopped riding his bike to pet 2 dogs at the entrance of a Florida neighborhood on Monday. So it's so sad, you guys, right? 8 years old. He saw a dog, he thought it was probably friendly, and he stopped to say hi, and then he was brutally mauled and killed. I heard that there is a 911 call out there that is very hard to listen, of the person who called the police to ask for help. I haven't heard it yet, but I knew about it, but I can only imagine the panic, right? So let me read to you briefly this article. Michael Millet was riding his bike with a friend in the very rich neighborhood in Dillon on Monday around 4:55 p.m. when he was maliciously mauled to death at the scene by 2 dogs who appeared to be friendly at first, right? So this is the thing. You never know. When it comes to animals, there's nobody who can tell you 100% this animal will never do anything to you. Didn't we lose that person? That there was a very famous person who lost his life, the trainer, right? The guy who always was, with the tigers and things like that. I mean, I think he was from Australia. I can see him like in my mind. I don't remember his name though. But we know he was around animals probably his whole life. I know his child is actually now following his footsteps, being like a trainer and things like that. And I know he didn't lose his life to a dog, but even if you're comfortable around animals and things like that, you really don't know how they're gonna attack, right? Obviously, depending on what kind of animal it is, right? But no matter how much you train an animal, you have to remember the enemy is gonna use anything that he can, and the enemy only comes to steal, kill, and destroy, right? So you have to just keep your guard. And it says here, these dogs seem friendly at first. So the child probably thought, oh, they're so cute. Let me, because I've seen this. I've seen kids, we all seen it, right? The kids, they see a dog and they go crazy. They want to, pet the dog. And so it says here, let me continue to read. Around 4:55 p.m. this past Monday, when he was maliciously mauled to death at the scene by two dogs, who appear friendly at first. It goes from petting and very It says here it goes from petting and a very friendly encounter to the dogs becoming very, very, very vicious and very violent. So Michael was bitten, listen to this, 12 times by two dogs, which have been identified as a people terrier, impossible a carajola. I might be mispronouncing that, I'm sorry. So, and some other breed, it says here. The police was not sure how long the attack lasted, but they think that the boy suffered for a long time and his injuries were just horrific, okay? And it says here, the sheriff said, we're going to do everything humanly possible to hold the owner of these dogs responsible, and we're going to do everything possible to make sure that these dogs are destroyed. That's what the sheriff said. And I know there could be some controversy when it comes to, because I know how much attachment people feel when they have a dog that they have for a long time, things like that. But that's, this is what the sheriff said. And every one of his 12 bite wounds have been swabbed for DNA, so we can consciously say that these two dogs that they had in custody are the dogs responsible for Michael's death. That's another thing that the sheriff said. The owner, who has the ability to appeal with the due process, is known to law enforcement and has been arrested, listen to this, 9 times in the past for various charges related to drugs and domestic violence and assault. And she was not on property at the time of the attack when the dogs ran back to the home, which is approximately half a mile from the mill for where the child was killed. So this is so crazy because the dog owner was not home when this happened. So did they get loose, right? What's going on here? And she's not a stranger. So the dog owner is a female who's not a stranger to the police, right? She has been arrested 9 times on drugs and domestic charges, okay? So it says a lot about her character, right? And maybe these 2 dogs were kind of like her protection, right? But where was she when this happened? So some people are saying she needs to be held accountable, and we have to prove negligence as the bottom part. When deputies and the animal control officers arrived at the property to confiscate the dogs, they noted that the property was not fully fenced and the dogs had the ability to get out easily, which was confirmed by neighbors who told authorities that the dogs regularly ran astray. So imagine that, right? It was just something that was gonna wait. It was just waiting to happen, right? And the thing is, like, for the neighbors to say something like that, it means that if these dogs, I know people perceive people as like always vicious. I know they're not vicious all the time, but they do have that tendency to do attacks like this, right? To ultimately kill somebody. So when people get nervous around people, there's a reason behind that, right? So the neighbors are saying the dogs are known to be roaming around freely, right? So if that's been happening and there hasn't been an end to that, it means that it has been an ongoing thing around that neighborhood. And this is what I was telling you guys about in my previous video, how God gives you the chance to fix something, right? You already been warned. I'm laughing because it's like we all know it, right? When I say these things, I'm talking to myself too. God says to you, take care of that stuff. Don't do that. Don't talk to somebody like that. Don't speak about somebody. Get off the gossip. Get off of this. Stop doing that. And we continue to do it. And then something crazy happens. And now we gotta pay the consequences of our actions. In this case, this 8-year-old boy lost his life, right? In this vicious attack, right? I'm sure this kid was not coming back by himself. I'm sure his friends were probably around too, probably terrified. And the family now lost their child. So these are the things that, it's just even it's heartbreaking to even share that. It's so sad, and you cannot even imagine the family and what they're going through. And speaking about that, right, I always tell you guys to come. We can come united and help the family out. The family did, I think, a friend or the aunt created a GoFundMe for Michael Millet, excuse me. A GoFundMe was set up. Okay, I do have the link. I found the link. Please help out if you can. I know a lot of the times we think it's not really within my neighborhood. It's not related to me. I don't want to share anything. But if you cannot contribute monetary, you can always pray for people, right? And I think GoFundMe is a great way to come together and help people out, especially people going through a hard time, right? So I'm going to leave the link here. Feel free to share it too. Even sharing it on your social media, on your Facebook, it really helps. So it's so sad, you guys. I know that, there's a lot of people who own animals, especially dogs. And as much as you think in yourself, oh no, these dogs are good, they have been trained, all of that. Remember, guys, the enemy is going to use whatever he can, right? So you just have to be in alert, especially when you're presenting your animals to new people, right? And make sure if you have them at home that everything is enclosed and every safety measure is been done. If you know you're supposed to fix your backyard door a long time ago, you should have done that already. You don't want nothing like this to happen, right? Let me know, guys, what you think about this. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the link so everybody can come out and help out. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.